Hello, it's Dave Parrish here with Knack Builders, doing another video series. Today's topic is dates and time in Knack. I'm going to go over some basics. This won't be too long, and some other. It's can be a big topic. I'm going to do some broad strokes here, but there's a few interesting things you can do to manage dates and time within your Knack app. I'll be back in just a moment to go through that. Thank you. Okay, here I go. Dates and time in Knack. Now first, something really basic. If you go up to your the settings of your app, you're going to have some options here to set the correct time zone and daylight savings also. That will, any action that happens that's time stamped will then be in that time zone. But let me get into some other stuff. I just took any app here. This is one of their template apps, but I'm going to add some date fields here. I already added two, date 1, date 2. These are pretty simple. It's going to give you your format, and if you want it to be capture when a record's created, timestamp it then or not, or you can set it to a specific date, and if you want to have time or not. Those are straightforward. I'm sure everyone knows that. Now let's do something else here. I'm going to look at these records. I'm going to get rid of this one real quick. Let's do something with these. Let's make an equation. Let me get this out of here. Submit that. Okay, let's do an equation that deals with dates. You're going to go to equation, and let's just make this equation date 2 minus date 1. And we're looking at dates, so we want to say it's in the date equation. And then it can ask you, well, what do you want it to result in? The difference between the two, by hours, by days, by weeks. Let's do days. It doesn't do months, because months are a little weird, because they can be different. And we want this to result, it can result in a date, but usually you're going to want a number. So this could be a use case, could be, hey, I want to know how invoice how late it is, or I want 5 days before an invoice is due, I want to create a task that sends out a reminder, something like that. Well, that's where you can use it. But let's just make this quick. You're going to go to fields. Let's do date 1 or date 2 minus date 1. Okay, there it is. And you have other options here, but we're going to just leave it default. And let's go here. Let's put some values in here. Let's make this, doesn't really matter what they are. I want to make this today, the 5th. And I want to make this the day before, the 4th. Okay, pretty simple. The 5th is 1 day later than the 4th, so it results in number 1, the number we want. Now that's all easy, and you guys can deal with that, but let me talk about something else. When I first saw what I'm going to show you, I'm like, what the hell is that? Let's do this. Let's make this blank. So we don't have a value there. And it gives us this number, 19,178. I'm like, well, what is that? And that can show up a lot. There's lots of times you're not going to have, like a completed date. Completed date when the record's created isn't there yet because you haven't completed it. And you're going to get this number here. Because sometimes it could be a negative depending on your orientation or your calculation. Here's what this is. And I don't know that you can actually use it, but it's something called unix time. And what it specifically is January 1st, 1970. some computer person or group came up with this thing. I don't know what it does or why it's 1970. Maybe that's when computers sort of were taking over. I don't know, but that's what it is. And what this is, 19,178 are the number of days since January 1st, 1970. And I'm just going to check that. Let's make this thing 01 1970. Submit it. Now it's a 0 because it defaults this to be when it's blank to unix time, 1970 January 1st, and so now I'm subtracting that date from itself, and that results in a 0. That's just useful, but let's do something else here. Let me go back to our other dates. 07 05 2022. So that's today. And I'm going to make this the 4th. Now let me show you something else. So now it's 1 day apart. This can be useful too. There's a lot of times that you might want to know the day a date represents. Is it Friday, Tuesday? And you can do something here too. Watch this, another equation, and I'm going to call this day of date 2, let's say, which is today. And here's what I'm going to do. Right here, I'm going to go get functions. I can just start typing in. This is going to be useful for a lot of stuff. Get. There's all these pre-made functions. Get day of month. Get day of week. Get last day month. Get month. Get week. You get it. So if you have a date and you want to extract something from this will do it. Let's call it get day of week. And I'm going to go for the date 2. So I just made a formula. It's going to tell me what day of week it is. Now I'm going to go over here. Now if you know anything about Knack, and when you create a formula like that or some other function, it takes a little bit for it to catch up with itself after you first made it. There's tricks you can do. I'm gonna just do an update on this record. I'm just changing this. And well, hold on here. Update. I'm going to update bedrooms. I'm forcing it to do something with the record. When you force it to do something, it engages it. This should result in it doing it. Okay, so now it is. It gave us the value 3. It gives you a number 1, 2, 3, 4 through 7. And just so you know, when they're handling dates in here, Sunday is 1. So today's Tuesday. Sunday is 1. Monday 2, Tuesday 3. So dates start on Sunday. I think you can change that if you're using a calendar view, but this is how it's going to handle that. So we now know what day of the week it is. 3 represents Tuesday. And if you had to display that someplace, you might want to make a conditional field that has the days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, etc., listed, and then put conditions on it. If date is 3, make Tuesday. If do that can be useful too. That's pretty much what I have. Those are some interesting things about dates within Knack. And again, you can do all kinds of complicated stuff. I may have another video on some advanced things with dates, but this gives you a general overview of what's up. Appreciate it, folks. Thanks.